I don't know how well this is going to go. This is my first time streaming ever, so let's see. I'm basically just going to be chopping some wood, starting a little bit of a fire, and talking a little bit too. So should probably go get my axe here. I don't know how far these microphones go, but hopefully you guys can hear me. Alright. Okay. Just got a little bit of wood that's a little dry here. Oh, you can't really see me here. Turn that a little bit. Okay. So, basically just chopping up a bunch of wood that I have along the fence here. Just moved into this place. Landlord left us a bunch of firewood for our little fire pit. So, yeah, I'm just gonna make a little bit of kindling and chop a bunch of the wood down. But let's see if any of this is drier yet. Oh, I think it's still a little bit wet here. There we go. Alright. This really isn't the best wood platform here, but it's all that I got for now anyway. There we go. Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna be straight enough to stand up here. No. Okay, let's do it this way then. There we go. It's still a little bit wet. That's okay. There we go. Alright. Got a little bit of kindling from that one. Oh, it's already cracking. Nice. There we go. Yeah, it's still a little wet on the outside, but it seems to be drier on the inside. There we go. Nice little piece. Okay. Well, there's also a couple things I wanted to talk about. One is that you may not know, I am actually a mortgage agent. So, there's that. And I kind of fell into it because I wanted to learn the back-end process when it came to buying a house. I really wanted to know what to experience when I bought my first house. So that'll be a goal for the next 2 years. Is I want to be able to buy a house of my own. But then I realized that I could actually help a lot more people get into their own homes. And I like that mortgage agents, so it's kind of like consultative sales, but there are so many ethical rules around it that it helps ensure that you're actually making the best decision for your clients. You're not being pushed by a company to just sell. You're essentially your own business, which means you have to make sure that you are doing your own thing and making sure that everybody is included in that. And I really do enjoy kind of guiding people through what they want to be doing, which would be either purchasing their first home. It could be go ahead and getting a rental property. Maybe they're trying to make some residual income. But I think it's really neat how there's a lot of things that you can do with it, even with commercial properties as well, because those are actually, they can be done through just a regular mortgage agent. And you're just kind of the liaison between the bank and the client, and you actually know that you're helping the client as the end person, but you're connecting them with the right financial product. So it really just kind of made a lot of sense for me. I didn't want to be another number in a company, and I've had a couple businesses in the past. I just wanted to make sure that actually that's skinny enough, I don't have to keep trimming that one down, but I just wanted to make sure that I could actually be helping people. One of the big things when it comes to having a mortgage agent help you out is you know that you're not just sitting in a bank and you're not having them kind of push their only product, whereas a mortgage agent, like for example, I work with Kingsdale, and we have over 65 lenders, and that allows us to look at a whole bunch more products that basically lets us make sure that you are getting the best help that you can, rather than just trying to sell a single product. But that's why I decided to become a mortgage agent. And it gives you a little bit more freedom to do what you want with your life, while you're also helping people make probably the biggest financial and most important financial decision of their life. So, yeah, that's what I do. That's why I got into it. And now I am also decided I'm going to start streaming just kind of things I do every day. And I can give mortgage advice as well if anything kind of pops up in the chat. I'm happy to help them out. Let me just see. I should probably check the chat. I haven't been over to my phone in a while. I don't see anything in the chat yet. That's okay. We're just here for a good time anyway. I only got a couple more pieces of kindling to do, and then I'll get a little fire started. And then I'll just chop a little bit more wood, see what we can do from there. But yeah, I guess what I can do is kind of start going through what the basic qualifications are for a mortgage. And that would be, essentially you need to have 2 years of income in Canada, as well as you need to have decent credit. If you have really bad credit, you can still get a mortgage, but it's not going to be through the traditional ways. You would definitely have to look at more of the private sector, which my brokerage does have access to. I can't do private deals right now, but my team can do private deals. So if you guys do want to buy a mortgage, you want to essentially buy a house and you need the financing for it, but you can't go a traditional route, I can definitely point you in the right direction with my team. So, but one of the other things that you also need is you need to make sure that you've paid all of your taxes at the end of the year, because lenders will not go ahead and they will not lend you anything if you owe the government money. So they'll lend you the traditional products, but you will not be able to get a mortgage if you owe the government money. And that's simply just to do with taxes. You have to make sure your taxes are paid up. And then there does seem to keep being a whole bunch of changes in the industry relatively quickly over the last 10 years. So some things to remember is you want to have a decent income. You don't really want they call it your GDS and your TDS, essentially what your annual income is versus what you pay in debts. So you really don't want that to be higher than 45% of your monthly income. And it's just simply to make sure that it allows you to pay that mortgage down. Lenders know that you'll have that, at least that financial capability. If you're self-employed, you can still get a mortgage. It may not be in the traditional route, but that's not always a bad thing. Sometimes private routes are a little bit better in some situations. But generally, you want 2 years of taxable income in Canada. You want to be able to prove it with an employer. So if you're not self-employed and you have just a regular job, you have a guaranteed salary, or you're paid hourly, or you just know what you make every year, and it's either within the same or it improves each year, chances are you're going to have a decent chance at getting a mortgage, as long as you also have decent credit and you do have a good kind of history with finances. So yeah, that's about what I'll go through for right now, but I'm just trying to feather up some of these pieces of kindling here so that it makes it easier to catch. This one is pretty small enough, I don't really have to do anything with that. Alright, I will be right back, just because I gotta go in and get some material to burn in the fire, but I'll be back in probably a minute. I'm just gonna mute my mic real quick. Okay, I am back. I'm gonna turn this chair around so you guys can see what I'll be doing here. So we've got a little fire pit, and now I'm basically I'm gonna feather up some of these kindle in here before it goes in, just because I really want to make sure that it catches a little bit better here. And I have no clue if my knife is even still sharp or not, but it's a cheap one, so if I have to sharpen it, I'll just use one of these bricks. I'm not really worried about damaging it all that much, because like I said, it's just a cheap little knife from the hardware store here. And yeah, I think it should be sharp enough to feather stick here. I'll give you guys a little bit closer just so you can see what I'm doing. So you just kind of want to feather it up around the edges here, kind of like you're carving it. So this will allow some of the smaller flames to kind of catch it and start working its way up to the bigger fire here, and let it to build. I'm trying to do it towards the camera here so you can see how I'm doing it. Just very lightly working your way up. Now you don't really want to do it to where it peels off, just enough where it's feathering up a bit. Now, once you got some feathered sticks, toss them in there. We'll arrange it once I put the cardboard in there, but that is already there. We go. Now you can do this with an axe or anything like that. I just happen to have a knife as well, so it's a little bit harder with an axe only because you're dealing with a much heavier blade, but it still works just the same. This kindling is still pretty wet here. Been having some snow, so yeah, you're just feathering the outsides here. So it's a little bit of enjoyment for me just because I like to do things like this. I just like to be outside and try to get things done. I also like to be inside and play a ton of video games, but you know, everybody's got to have their hobbies. In the summer I'll probably stream a little bit more camping, fishing, and kind of outdoor stuff. It's just I'm not a huge fan of the cold, so yeah. But I'm gonna grab another piece of kindling here. Now you don't have to feather the wood when it's just small pieces like this, but it does help a little bit, and it's also kind of just gives you some practice working with knives and blades and stuff, so that if you ever are out somewhere you shouldn't be, in the woods or something, trying to pitch a tent or start a fire out there, it gives you a little bit more practice when you don't have cardboard and that handy. If you don't have cardboard, honestly I would make sure you're also doing shavings aside from just feathering the stick, but I've got cardboard so I don't really have to worry about shavings. And yeah, just keep feathering some of these sticks here. That one is too small, it doesn't need to be feathered at all. You always kind of want to keep your finger on the opposite side of the blade, just general safety. I know it's common sense, but I do see it quite a bit where people will pull the blade to them, and you just don't want to be doing that, because if anything slips, you could definitely injure yourself. You could get a deep cut. You could even potentially lose a finger, which That'd be a very sharp knife, but you never know. Just be careful. Yeah. I don't know if my mic's picking it up, but I think I got an airplane going overhead of me here. But yeah. Well, I do have a viewer. They've been here for a little bit. Good to see ya. Happy you're here. Yeah, I record these videos and then I'll be uploading them to my YouTube channel, which will be the same, Life of Dalton. Just kind of doing things, talking about things. Probably talk a lot about mortgages, just because I am a mortgage agent, and it allows me to have a little bit more flexibility with my life rather than be in an office 24/7. But it also helps a lot of people because it allows them to get their first home, their rental property, commercial property, grow their business, lots of different things you could be doing. And lots of different things you could need some financial products related to mortgages, home equity line of credits, all that jazz. But I'm going to crush up some of this egg cart here. That should light up pretty good. I'll have to figure out how to get the camera to show in the fire pit here. I'll have to reorganize my tripod, but right now I'm gonna basically make a little bed of kindling and then put more on top, just because there is a good amount of snow in the fire pit right now. So, but it should light up no problem here. Just need a little bit more kindling. Alright, get some thicker ones going this way, crisscross, everything needed here. Before I stuff the egg cart in there, I'll kind of show you what I'm doing here. If I can manage to balance this tripod properly here. Alright, I think that'll do it, and then there. As you can see, we've got a little square bed here. I'm just going to fold and rip apart some of this egg carton, tuck it under. I'm gonna have to take some of those off here. You want it right on top of the kindling there, and then the other stuff to go up here. I'm going to get a little bit more kindling to go on top. I do have other cardboard as well. This is more just kind of to get it started. So we're going to layer it up here like this. And we will hope it catches. I am not a professional bushcrafter or anything like that. I'm more just doing this because I got cardboard I gotta burn. I don't want to have to put it in the recycling when I can burn it, so it doesn't have to take up so much space in the recycling bins. We'll stack a little bit more up here. If you see any brands of what I'm burning, it's not an advertisement in any way. I'm just burning it to burn it here. I get the last little bit of kindling here to go on top. because we don't want any of the pieces of cardboard to kind of fly away when they're burning, because that would be a bit of a headache to try and deal with. We'll need the heavier one on that side there, just to hold it in place. Alright. Now we'll just light underneath here. I still got a viewer, you still with me? Cool. Okay, we got the trusty little turbo lighter here. Hopefully it works. I used it last weekend and it worked. So we just want to make sure that we're lighting the egg carton underneath here. Oh, I missed the egg carton completely. That's okay. We'll just light the carton directly then. Oh, it should catch here. Not a whole lot of wind. And a little bit from the other side here. Yeah, the egg carton doesn't really want to catch, but that's okay. The cardboard itself will, and then it'll move its way down. Looks like the egg carton is a little bit caught. Get this side going too. And what we're really going to be listening for is that little bit of crackling right here. That means it's starting to work its way to the wood. It's getting some of the moisture out of the wood. And that's what you hear crackling there. I'll just tuck that in there so it can catch some more. As you see, it's pretty simple when you got a little bit of cardboard. The fire starts going and you're good to go. But yeah, I don't know if you guys find watching fire a little bit calm, but I do. It's kind of something just to do. Now I don't know if you guys want to see me do more, just kind of watch the fire more, or if you want to see my mediocre wood chopping, but we're getting a little bit smoky because the wood's still a little wet, but this should catch no problem. Sounds like the wood's already catching. It looks like some of the feather tips on the wood are already lighting. I've got a whole nother bin of kindling in the shed if I end up needing it here. I don't know if I think the smoke's taken all of it away there. But yeah, it's a little smoky, but the smoke will die down once it's just the wood. So keep some of this here, just fan it, make sure it gets nice and warm. There we go. Hear all the tinder crackling there. Alright. Just leave that, and as it goes to just wood, the smoke will die down there. I wish I had a taller tripod, then I could actually adjust it a little bit so that you could see in the fire and not just get all the smoke. But you'll see the flames popping up through soon because all the wood here is catching. I'll move you over again so you can see. But all the wood's catching there. And hear the crackling. But we got a whole bunch more wood. I'll see if I can switch the camera around so you guys can see here. Under all that snow is all wood. So I'm not going to be doing all that today, but going to be doing at least some of it, because I don't know when I'll need some firewood again, but I always seem to need a little bit of firewood to burn the recycling. We'll adjust this so that it's in view there. Now I'm steps away from the fire and I'm watching the fire. If anything does happen, we got loads of snow around here. I can get water. It's no big deal. We got plenty of different ways to put it out here. But yeah, let's chop a little bit more wood. I don't know how this one's pretty damp and it's a little rotted, so it's either not going to split or it may just cause some shavings here, which I've already got shavings over here. I just don't like having to clean up shavings. I rather just regular old wood. But here we go. Oh yeah, it'll split. I should get some WD-40 for this axe though, so it doesn't just stick in the log when it doesn't go through. There we go. Nice and easy. Those are gonna have to cut into smaller pieces. Whoa. I don't know if I should, because I'm going to download this stream and I'm going to upload it to YouTube as well, but I don't know if I should edit it or if I should just leave it as raw video. I might edit it just because there's a lot of gaps, and I know I'm a heavy breather and I speak hard in between the sentences there. It's mainly to do with just some lung stuff I got going on, but other than that, I think I enjoy this. It's fun. It keeps my mind off things, kind of helps you have a clear head when you're working towards things. Everybody's working towards something in life. I just want to help others, maybe create a little bit of content that will kind of help others calm themselves, or maybe learn something financially. I don't know. This one doesn't want to stick up well, so I'm going to shift over to this side here. There we go. I think I can get one more split out of this here. There we go. Oh, maybe more than one. Cool. This one, I think termites got into it or something. There's a lot of holes, and it is basically powder in the middle, and there's some knots in this, so I have no idea how this is going to go. It might be a little bit too much for this little tiny camping axe, hatchet, whatever you want to call it here, but yeah, it's just so soft right in the middle, it just goes right in there, eh? It's just powder. Yeah, I don't think this one's gonna split at all. But we're gonna try. We'll try around the edges first to see if we can get a little something. I think it's just too wet and too rotted. I'm getting a little bit of cracks here. Oh, maybe. Oh yeah, it's like nice and red inside. Oh yeah. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I'll show you. It's like bugs or something were living in there during the summer, and it just is rotted and wet. That one's probably not going to burn really well here, but I'll give it a try because I don't really have another way to dispose of wood. It may even burn better just because it's powder, but I don't think that'll be the case here. Yeah, I think yeah, it's just too soft and rotten inside. There's no bugs in it right now. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Got my knife so you guys can see it, because you won't see it otherwise, but this little guy on my knife here. Yeah, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it's almost like a little worm or something. I don't know, it's got legs on the front, so it's not like an actual worm. It's probably another type of insect or bug, but either way, that's what was eating this wood. The guy out of his misery so he doesn't get burned. That's definitely a worse way to go. But oh well. We'll split this up a little bit more here. Oh. That's going right in the knot. I don't think that one's going to cut super well there, but I lied. It works just fine. And another piece here. See if we can just mallet this through because it's so soft. That didn't work. I think because this is right over a knot, it's not going to do anything. Yeah. Oh well. See if maybe we can turn it a little bit. No. That knot's not going to do anything. Maybe we can just chop through it. I don't know. I think I may just burn that as a log itself, actually. I don't think I'm going to bother wasting time chopping through that one. Make this into a little bit smaller of a piece. If I think this has to get leveled again. It's on too much of an angle here. Nothing's standing up on it. Oh, I'm not even in the camera. Okay. Easy. I mean, for the cheapest little axe at Canadian Tire, it's not bad. Does what it needs to. Blade's not super sharp, but for an axe you don't want it to be incredibly sharp, you just kind of want it to be sharp enough to go into the wood and split it, or to chop it in from the side if you're trying to chop the actual stump or small trees and that down. I actually turned in some nice kindling here. And then after this one's done, we'll go check the fire. I can see it. It's like maybe 10 feet away from me. It's not far, but it's not smoking a whole lot anymore. So just got one piece left here. That's not going to stand up. Let's try the other side there. There we go. Yeah, the fire's still going. Got some good coals going on there now. So I think it's time to throw some more of that wood on there. We'll set this up. Hopefully the heat doesn't ruin my phone or my microphone here. There we go. Oh. Turn that down a little bit more. I don't know if that's showing the fire a little bit. I move this brick over maybe. I think this brick is frozen. Yeah, no, it's frozen. See if maybe we could do it on this one instead. I just don't want to melt my tripod here. There we go. That shows it a little bit better. We do have some more boxes I gotta burn here. I just didn't want to burn them all at once. I'll throw on the remaining little bits we got here on there before we throw the next bit of wood on there. Let's see if this rotten wood burns well. It might be a little wet. Okay. Toss it in there, crisscross, and it should catch. Is that better? A little bit better. It's going to be smoky for a minute just because of the cardboard, but it'll die down. Split up a little bit more of that kindling as that gets going. Just split it up into some of them into smaller pieces for later. was another way to do this too. So another thing you can do is when you're snow, because I got my mic hanging from it, but move this a little bit closer here. There we go. So you can angle it like that when you have thin wood that you need to make into kindling. Oh, there we go. When it's just thinner wood that you need to make into kindling, you just put the axe like that, because it splits a little easily. You can find just one of the grooves and put the blade in there, take another piece, and you just make sure your hands are away from the direction of the blade, and you just pop it through, and you get a little bit of kindling here. And the same thing, you just groove it into the blade, and take another piece of wood and pop it through. Just a couple different ways you can make the kindling out of the thinner stuff here. That's probably one of the easier ones. If you don't feel like having to actually try and chop the axe like that, you can even just kick it through here. Just, if you're going to kick it, I would just suggest don't. Only because, you don't want to get your toe hit by the axe or the other way around. The easiest way is just hit it and split it. And I'll give you these little pieces here which make really good for fire starting. I don't know if this will chop this way here. Might be a little too wet. Yeah, it's still a little wet. Basically just getting some kindling for next time. These couple thinner pieces seem to be a lot drier from that one piece of wood that wasn't rotted here. There we go. A whole bunch more kindling. More kindling for next time. Oh. We're going on almost an hour here, so I'm gonna cut it off, but thank you for watching.